I'm working on the last side of the house where I'm putting the rusty tin underneath the overhang. I didn't do the back side because that was a little crazy. I was quite tired, so I decided just to go ahead and finish that up, get it done, and start on this last side. I have more space on this side of the house anyway, and I didn't want to go out there in the woods a little bit because I'm really into getting this stuff up, so I didn't want to go out and do all that good stuff because I wasn't really paying attention to camera stuff. So this side is the last side. Quite thankful because it's been something else. This process, as you can see, is a little bit tedious. The large side that I just put on, of course, since this is the last side, is going a whole lot easier because now I've gotten my system down just a bit and it's going quite faster. So I'm almost there. I just have a little piece to go underneath from the front to the back that you can kind of see right now. This is that last part that goes underneath so that if any water does come down and gets close to the house, it would just go ahead and wick its way on the outside because I'm putting this little piece in. Once this is done, of course, as I said before, I have to go back and make sure all the little holes are closed up with caulking and things like that. So this is it. It's been quite a week. It took me a whole bunch of days longer than I thought it would because it's just a tedious process. So I'm happy this is done. I'm going to do a little bit of shooting on the back, or actually all the way around the house, so you can see what it looks like all together, the whole thing. So we're getting there, slowly but surely. As I said before, each time I come here, I get a step or two closer, and that's all I can ask for because this is a slow process, a great process nonetheless. I'm learning a lot, and for the next house that I build out here, I would know a whole lot more. I hope to be able to go a lot faster because I think I know a little bit more than I did when I first started this thing 5 whole years ago. So that's where we are. So this is just me finishing up, and as we go, you'll see the whole process as it looks all finished. Well, after quite a bit of time and effort, I'm finished with the rusty tin underneath the overhangs. That is something I'm really happy that I'm done with because it was a lot. It's probably the most work I've done out here at any one job or task. It was not something I'd like to do again. If I do, I think I'd even actually have somebody out here helping me at that point because, yeah, it was a lot. So since I'm done, and just before I do all the caulking, because as you know, this tin has a lot of holes in it. So in each of the holes, I'm going to go back around and put some clear caulk in it because there are little creepy crawly things out here. Roaches, bugs, spiders, centipedes, all those kind of things. And here of late, they've been finding their way inside the house. Since I've gotten everything covered as far as the wood is concerned, I wanted to make sure that all the holes that are in the tin are covered because I don't want the little bugs and creepy crawlies to get in. They will get in some kind of way because they are just really, really small. But the main thing I want to prevent is wasp and carpenter bees from making nests. Now, of course, carpenter bees will go into a place and start boring into your wood, and they'll make their home there, have their family, and maybe even come back again the next year. So I wanted to prevent that. So though there are a few big holes in there, because I've actually seen a couple of carpenter bees go into the holes. I ran them out, but they were there, so I'm sure they will probably come back if they were able. Then wasp nest, each time I come here there's at least 4. So the thing I want to do with them is keep them from getting behind the tin. If they get behind the tin, the only way to kill the nest is to take the tin down, risk getting stung numerous times, and or falling off the ladder because it's pretty high up. So since all that's done, I'm going to do a little shoot around so you can actually see it before I put the caulk on, because that's probably something I'm going to do tomorrow, or at least start tomorrow. And I'm hoping it only takes a few hours because I need to move on and do some other things. There are trees I need to cut, there's electrical, there's plumbing, there's all kinds of good things. But I wanted to make sure I got this done because I couldn't start it and not finish it, because by the time I got back, all kinds of things will have made nest underneath the parts I didn't cover. So it was mandatory that I go ahead and finish that. So it is done, so that's a good thing. So I'm going to go ahead and do a little shoot around so you can see what it looks like. So this is the front of the house, and I'm just going to walk on across. One of the major ordeals with putting this tin up is that the tin is about 11 feet long. So I had to figure out how to get it up there, screw a part, and then work my way down to screw the other part. That was a major ordeal. Now, of course, I started with the front, and I probably should have started with the sides of the back so that I could perfect my little system for getting it up there. But at any rate, it's up. I like it. There's no wood showing. And of course, I forgot the fire hazards that are out here in the woods. So since this is covered, it's least likely to catch fire, hopefully. But all those things kind of come into play when you are building out in the woods, because you never know what's going to happen, how things are going to go. So it's a good thing that it's covered. And of course, since this idea, of course, since I've wanted to have this place covered entirely with rusty tin, it's something I wanted to do anyway, regardless of all the other benefits that may be gained from having it. It's the look that I was looking for. And thus far, the look has been exactly the way I've wanted it. So that's a good thing. I had no idea how I was going to do this. There's still some improvements I can make, but it's up there. And it's just the way I want it. It's not perfect. I wasn't looking for perfection. I just wanted something to do what I wanted it to do. So that is my rusty tin underneath the overhangs. So as I just said a minute ago, I will start doing the caulking underneath to get all the holes and just seal it up as much as possible. Then I'll go around the siding again and see if there was anything I missed on that also, because you know, when you're working to get things done in a certain amount of time, sometimes you miss things. I hope that I haven't missed too much, but we'll see. So that's where we are right now. I didn't do a whole lot of time lapse of this process and on all 4 sides because it was just kind of grueling, and I was actually starting to wonder if I was going to be able to get everything done before I had to get out of here. So I am happy to say that it is done. I'm quite happy with it, and it looked like, or it looks like it's always looked in my mind for the most part. Different things, but at least I have the house up after all this time, and we are moving on. And you can even see I have a set of steps here that I made this time around so that I didn't have to deal with the two-step ladder that I was using all the other times. So that is quite helpful. Of course, it's not permanent because as I get going a little bit in the future, I'm going to add a porch so that these steps won't be necessary at all, but they are good for right now for getting in and out, and they actually have been serving their purpose. All right, that's it. So until the next video.